So anyway, in this quote, the explicate order, weakest of all energy systems, resonates out of and is an expression of an internal, infinitely more powerful order of energy called the implicate order. And I'll just stop right here for a second for those, just to clarify. The explicate order is in reference to the external, and of course the implicate order is in reference to the inner workings. We're talking at the subatomic level. It is the precursor of the explicate order. So the implicate order is the precursor of the explicate order, the internal dreamlike vision or the ideal presentation of that which is to become manifest as a physical object. Now this quote, I'm not finished yet, but this quote is very significant if you are listening to what I'm saying. It's the reminder, the implicate order. That's the precursor of what appears on the outside. The internal dreamlike vision or the ideal presentation of that which is to become manifest in the physical. Okay, so the implicate order implies within it all physical universes. The implicate order implies within it all physical universes, meaning the implicate order, that which is the internal working, the internal machine, within the core of that is all universes, all physical universes, whether it be from the dream state, or perceptual state, it all exists in there and eventually become the physical universes. However, it resonates from an energy field which is greater. Speaking of the implicate order, resonates from an energy field which is yet greater, the realm of pure potential. Hear that? The realm of pure potential. It is pure potential because nothing is implied within it. Implications form in the implicate order and then express themselves in the explicate order. Bohm goes on to postulate a final state of internal infinite energy, which is 0 point, which he calls the realm of insight intelligence. The creative internal process springs from this realm. Okay? He's talking about point 0 here. A realm of insight intelligence. The creative internal process springs from this realm. Excuse me. Energy is generated there, gathers its pure potential, and implies within its eventual expression as the explicate order, basically of that which becomes physical. And this was actually by Will Keeping, David Bohm of from Noetic Science Journal. You know, again, you see David Bohm, the guy he was on it. Okay? So scientists like David Bohm give rise to the possibility of these closely layered realms. In the above quote, he speaks of the realm of pure potential. It is pure potential because nothing is implied within it. He goes on further to say that implications form in the implicate order and then express themselves in the explicate order. Okay? So this becomes significant when we consider that all forms of reality are observer-based and shows itself according to the perception or the consciousness of the participant. Huh? I love that. So again, This becomes significant when we consider that all forms of reality are observer-based. Observer-based. Who's doing the observing? Are observer-based, and shows itself according to the perception or the consciousness of the participant. Okay? This is not a quote. This is me talking. But, so we're looking at that, as I had mentioned before, about the awakeness and the awareness and how consciousness establishes a reality for us based on our awareness and our awakeness, which is going to depend on the latitude of our perception. And so here we have the observer again, and showing that things are showing up according to the perception or the consciousness of the participant. Now, science is showing you this once again. Here he is, David Bone. I could say this over and over in different ways that are coming from me. But so we become engaged with a version of reality relevant to our own progression. That's really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we become engaged in a version of reality relevant to our own progression. So basically what we are right now, what we're experiencing, is a reality that is relevant to where we are. It is here that we can see how and why, and this is the quote from what I read earlier, we can see how and why implications form in the implicate order and then express themselves in the explicate order. So I think that word is interesting, those two words, implications and implicate, you know, that which is happening internally. And then you have the word implications, which is to imply. Anyway, it's pretty interesting on those words, imply and implicate. Okay. So what I looked at was also, you know, the fact that our memory, our thoughts, our mind, that everything is really stored off-site. I mean, I was really looking at that last night. It was just, you know, really in my face that everything is really stored off-site. We have a tendency to think that everything is somehow stored in the body. And then, you know, you start remembering or recognizing it's all holographic. Everything is stored in space, and our organs simply act as portals for this vast field, because it's not really a storage unit. It seems like it, and then this is when I think I got up and went and got chocolate at this point. But anyway, since everything is stored in space, and I was looking at the vastness of that. It's like, oh my God, no wonder why everything was really unlimited, because nothing is not stored in any place, in any like set final space. That's why we're so vast and so unlimited. Anyway, before I get carried away. So we get that part. Okay, so it's not really stored there, and how the organs, they really just act as portals. And of course we can connect that with consciousness in terms of the kind of reading or kind of information that is going to be brought in or processed through these portals. It's based on the awakeness and the awareness of the individual, and then that's where thoughts come into play, and belief systems and consciousness, because where is all that happening? Where is all that stored? And we talk about the subconscious mind. Can you really locate it? Can we locate any of this stuff? That's what we have to look at. So so this is why we can transmit and receive information. It's an open-ended, unrestricted flow. So I hope you see that. This is why we can transmit and receive. Because everything, all of this is it's a portal. Just like we give birth. Because we're so used to viewing things based on our eyes and the physical, but if you start really looking beyond that, what's really going on here? Oh, that's the magic right there. That's the magic. All this physical stuff, it's just to give us something to attach to. But the magic is what's going on behind